Hey YouTube, what is going on? This is Paul, and it's actually 5 in the morning that I'm doing this. Just couldn't sleep. A lot of stuff happened yesterday, and had another video that I was actually going to release, but I'm releasing this one for a couple of reasons. One, I wasn't happy with how that first take kind of turned out. And it turns out that me being the perfectionist that I am, I'm still learning how to do my editing and stuff. I'm not gonna really, I don't think I'm gonna get to that like super awesome level yet with all the cool like video intro scenes and stuff, just because I'm trying to focus on getting some good value out there. And as I get to play around with it and play around with editing on YouTube more, hopefully you're going to have some more graphics and some cool stuff, and at least like an end card once I start making more videos. So just jumping right into it, today we're going to be talking about one thing that I've seen a lot of people new to social media marketing agencies kind of mess up, and that's the client or brand audit. I say the first step in social media marketing because cold calling and getting clients, there's a lot of different ways to do that, and I'll go into some of those later, since honestly, starting out I rarely did much cold calling, and there was a unique situation that and some relationships that I developed that helped me kind of go around that. Specifically, actually just pretty much almost all my clients that I really have are referrals. So here's a quick shout out to Jessica and to Dazed Adventurer. I know you guys going to be watching this and hope it really helps you. For Jessica, it's a recap, and for Dazed Adventurer, since I know you also started out with Ty's course, and Ty kind of goes into social media audits, this may help you, get your first clients too. So jumping right into it, what is a brand audit? On the top, it's a service where you're going in and you're finding out what it is that is and isn't working for a customer. So what is and isn't working for a customer. It's kind of like a report, or how when you go into a mechanic and they're just going to give you like this, yeah, your car has this. Oh, and you probably need to get this. So it's because honestly, you don't know what to fix, or you don't know what really you're going to be doing until you identify either what needs fixing or what needs implementing in the first place, right? So what this really does is it helps a customer kind of start seeing what you can do for them, and also what you'll be, also the value that you're going to be bringing to them as well. So in reality, it really is your first working session with the customer. So I have my own 3 steps that I follow when doing a brand audit, and that's because a lot of you can kind of get lost in how to start helping clients or helping new customers. I'm just going to be sharing that with you today. Here's the thing, I learned this when I was a consultative sales guy and closing in 6-figure deals with small businesses. It really works well here too, but honestly, this process should be almost I honestly apply this into every single business consulting meeting, every single business setting where I can go in there and be an advisor or helping out. So ready? There's a lot of value I'm pretty much giving. So one, where are they? And by that I mean identify what the current state of their company or business is. This current state is incredibly important because you don't know, again, you don't know what you're going to do until you find out exactly what they're doing. And I don't mean past, don't really look at the past events either. I mean, that does play a part in it, right? Because you don't know what they're doing right now. You don't know what they did back then. So you're obviously going to ask. But the past events, they have had their own ups and downs. And if it's like decades ago where social media really wasn't booming, or like they were still running TV ads or news ads, don't really attack that too much, because it's stuff that they invested into, and it probably worked for them in the past. But they're approaching you now because the landscape has changed. The I guess the operational environment has changed, and now they're facing this new dilemma of like, oh great, what is this social media stuff? I don't know how to do this. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. So the current state. To give a quick example of what I mean, from the identifying what the current state is, I'll actually use one of my own clients, one of my own examples. So I went into one of these meetings, and pretty much from the beginning, I found out that they were running mostly YouTube ads. That they had, or no, not YouTube ads. Sorry, the Yelp ads. This is YouTube. So Yelp ads, spending a lot of money there, and also that they were spending also money on a TV show ad. And that was really interesting because I was like, oh, so you're running a TV ad. Well, how do you know how much, business is bringing in? And they said, oh, we run it every week, and we know it's working well because customers come in on Sunday. And they run this on Saturday. And I'm just sitting there listening, and I'm like, wait, like, I don't get it. How do you know? Do you do a promo code or coupon code or something like that? And it's like, no, we just been running it. We just been spending this much money on TV ads, and it's been doing well for us. Funny enough, that TV show or that TV ad that they had got canceled because essentially that show got like that channel or whatever. I think it was like a local something. They went away. So now they're like, okay, now we're kind of we're really open to some new opportunities because our main source of advertising is gone. And yeah, like that. So that's an interesting one, right? There's a lot of things you can play in with that. Not saying that most of your customers you're going to find are going to be running ads on TV, but really the big thing to really look at is if a customer is spending money on a source of traffic that isn't bringing in data, that doesn't allow them to analyze properly what brought a customer there, what is keeping a customer there, or what made the customer drop off, then there's a huge opportunity there. And by that I mean, like, you can go in there and start thinking like, aha, I have all these great ideas. This isn't the time for you to speak. It's the time for you to listen. So where they are, find out their current state, find out campaigns that they're currently running, and if they're not doing any advertising, then that's really good, because if they're not doing any advertising, you can just sit there, listen, and later you can ask the customer, okay, so how are you growing, or how are you building your business, or how are you gaining more customers, how are you gaining more traction? Because that's a very unique, it's a very strong call to action in this case, because then you now know that because they're not doing marketing, they know they need to do marketing. They know they need to be growing their business. They're probably operating in their business too much, or hoping that word of mouth really helps them spread, or they're doing all these different things on Instagram, hoping, or Facebook, or YouTube, or Twitter, that's hoping it'll work. But really, to be honest, there's a reason why people like me exist, and that's because social media marketing is either extremely hard for some people to understand, or B, it is extremely difficult to implement, or C, it's just a time sink. Like, if I had to honestly say, like, being able to jump into social media marketing is relatively easy now for most people who are millennials, I guess. Mastering it is a different case, and then really applying strategy and a plan of action and helping build a course for a customer to really like push out and grow their business in a methodical, controlled, and analytical way. Well, that's a mastery on its own. So just to round out that first one, where they are, what's their current state, what are they running right now, what are they not running right now, and this is where you go into step 2. Step 2 is, where does the customer want to go? What's their desired end state? And one of those is, it's pretty simple. You're going to now help the customer kind of start visualizing and understanding, hey, like, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to get to? It could be 100 sales a day. It could be 1,000 sales a day. It could be 10,000 sales a day. If they're a local business, then they're going to want foot traffic. It may be sales, it may be even profit. It may be just growing their presence online. They want 100 followers, 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers, whatever that may be. Now, don't fall into the trap of like, oh yeah, I can definitely get you 10,000 followers, because here's the thing. If you're a service or somebody who guarantees that some business, if they pay X amount, is going to get X amount of followers, you're doing it wrong, because you're scamming, because you're thinking from this weird place. I get it. Like, you want to help out people, you want to like close that deal, and you really want to like showcase that you're confident in, you know, what you do. But if you do something like that, it really sounds scammy, because you don't know whether you can't really guarantee how fast or how big they can grow. If they do get to that number, great, that's just extra gravy on top. But in reality, you can't guarantee any of that stuff, because you could try and run your own plans, you could think of all these great campaigns and try implementing it, and guess what, you can be wrong. And and it's really important to understand that you will be wrong. There will be times where your campaigns will fail, and it's happened with me too. That is why I tell my customers, look, usually if you want to get results, it's going to take a month or two, because I have to sit there building it, and I'm going to also probably test a lot of it, and I'm not going to be able to guarantee you extremely huge, you know, growing whatevers without some testing, without some tweaking, without some sitting down and strategizing, because you aren't the business person. You aren't them. You're helping them on their social media and digital marketing, but because you're not an expert in their industry or their field, you have to kind of work. You have to make sure you work with them so that you can help them, you know, get their message out there, and that's a real big thing. Your customers are going to be your best customers anyway, are going to be providing you essentially the copy, graphics, and everything else you need, so you can best communicate their business to people and communicate the value that they bring as a business to their potential customers, so that they can start growing their business, start making a lot of money, in which turn that they will turn to you and give you a lot of money because you made them a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So kind of to round out that second one, again, where do they want to go? You can get them to start thinking about rainbows and unicorns, just how awesome of a campaign that, you know, could potentially be there, and start having them see like, this is the potential you can do. This is the lifetime value of a customer, or this is your, you know, growth rate, or you can start reaching this sales numbers, etc. If you start implementing something like this, where you can start getting people into your funnel. But don't go too overboard on this, because you need to keep expectations realistic. It is better to under promise and over deliver than it is to over promise and under deliver. So then the biggest thing, and this is the final step, and this is probably the most important step that is going to be way too long, so I'll go into it into a later video, and that's going to be how to get there. And this is the plan of action. So the plan of action probably is the part where you are 100% delivering value. And again, as you're doing this, keep in mind that you're working for your customer, and as part of that, like when you're delivering this plan of action, try and think about what they really need, and not so much what you can just recommend off the bat with a knee-jerk reaction. It isn't always just Facebook ads. It isn't always just Instagram management or Instagram ads either. Honestly, Instagram ads, I honestly have very mixed opinions about it. I've seen it work with very specific types of branding and very specific types of product, and I've seen it absolutely fail in other types of product. So most important thing is, with the plan of action, this is where you have to start strategizing and being creative and helping your customer kind of see and realize what you really can do. I'll give you an example. So I've identified where a customer is. Let's say for this one with the TV ads, I've identified, okay, you used to be spending X amount on TV ads, and now it's gone, and now you're sitting there wondering, what am I going to do for advertising? And you've heard about social media, and you've heard about all this digital marketing stuff, and this is why I'm here. So where do you want to go? Well, we want to grow on these platforms. We want to do this. We want to build our sales by X amount. I really want to, hit these numbers. Right now, my manager is doing my social media, and that gave me this plan of action. I'm like, okay, well, one, your manager doing social media is wrong, because if they're doing social media, then they're not doing the real job, which is managing. You didn't hire a social media manager when you hired that guy or gal. You hired a manager to manage your store, to manage your customers, and to build customer relations. So there you go. Step one. I just saved you money right there. Step two, the most important thing is where do you find your customers? Do you find them on Yelp? Do you find them on Facebook? Or what are your customer demographics? Do they fit a certain age bracket? Do they fit a certain viewing? Do they view certain things? If they're older, what does that really mean by older? Is there a cap? Because social media starts petering out in its effectiveness once you reach a certain age bracket, and that's pretty much around if you start going to 55 plus, yes, I know there are cool grandmas. My mom is 55-ish, and she's making a crap ton of money on Bitcoin, and so you can get really awesome technical parents that honestly are doing really well on technology, but the thing is if you don't have if you don't know hey, what your target demographic is, and you're basically helping them identify that as well. So this is where you can now offer some suggestions. With Facebook ads, you can probably get this kind of click-through rate, which would cost this much per month to run a campaign, which would then give you X results, whether it's growing an email list, whether it's growing a bot list, right? Or whether it's implementing a funnel. And by that I mean implementing a lead page or a click funnel that starts driving customers, starts nurturing them, and then starts generating sales. These are all times for you to really shine and to really give value here, because essentially you're sitting down with your customer and you are developing a relationship with them, which is the most important thing ever, as you're going further and further and further in to building a plan. And here's the thing, don't be afraid of this. Don't think that, oh, I'm giving away my secrets or whatever. They're going to run away and start doing this, because they're talking to you because they don't have the time or the expertise. Imagine if you were in their shoes and an expert comes in here and says, oh, we're going to be doing this and this and this and all these crazy cool stuff, and you're sitting there as a business owner and you're listening. You're like, I have no freaking clue what you're saying, but it all sounds good, and I can probably afford you, so let's do it. That's what they're thinking. Even the most savviest business owner who wants to try and do things themselves, the thing is that the complexities and the plans and the nuances of whatever service you're offering, it's incredibly hard for them to just pick that up and go as a beginner. And more importantly, it is a lot better and a lot comforting to just pay for a consultant or a professional to be doing this. That's why it's absolutely great. This is a very lucrative and also very fun business to be in, because I get to help out a lot of businesses and I help out a lot of people to succeed in their dreams. So yeah, that was actually a very long video. I didn't realize it was going to go that long. I'll go further into this plan of action stuff probably much later, because I do know that a couple of you guys are already asking me. I have another computer actually right here. A couple of you guys have been asking me about profitably running Facebook ads for e-commerce, and also Shea York, thank you so much. I'll definitely be this is kind of my story, so you'll be hearing more about that. And Al Badu, definitely, if you're if you're interested in social media marketing or social media marketing agencies, like a side job or whatever, I do recommend it. It is absolutely fun, and it is a very awesome experience to be able to help businesses grow. And also, Tim Lester, yes, I am the funnel hack man. So I've been on a couple of little things on Matt Loberstein's channel. If you probably came over from there, to be honest. And hopefully we'll be recording some stuff to teach you guys more about funnels and bots and Facebook ads and whatever in the future. And like I said before, Dazed Adventure, dude, you just got to get into it, because Ty's social media marketing agency course, if you bought it or if you went through it or whatever, it's a great starting off point. Like, you learn a lot of the different basics, and it gives you a very step-by-step plan on how to get started. Now, you guys got to start implementing it. Like, I might do a review video on Ty's social media agency or some other courses at a later point. But definitely, if I had to put a value to it, is it worth the $1,000 or whatever it was? Like, but is it definitely worth when you make that money back and then some when you start your business? Yeah, definitely it is. And here's the thing, like, I had the skills, but it was a kick in the pants when you watch it and you're like, oh yeah, you know what, I really should do it. So that's kind of my just closing this out. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. If you want to hear or learn more, or if you want me to go deeper into my 3 steps, again, that's where they are, where they want to go, how to get there. Just go ahead and leave a like or a comment down below. I really appreciate it. If you really like my stuff, or if you want to just hear more different things on strategy, on working with clients, or other things that I do, like Facebook ads, or like bot building on Messenger, or e-commerce or things like that, then again, just subscribe. I'll be releasing more videos over time, and I'm going to try and answer as many questions as possible in these videos too. And hopefully I can also start boosting my video quality, because these are just straight recorded. But yeah, if there's anything else you guys want me to talk about, again, hit me up. And I do personal consultations. That is a thing. Eventually I'll put in a link, so hopefully you'll see that. But again, thanks guys so much. Talk to you guys later. Bye.